Good morning. Welcome to the Smart Life Club. I am Vicki Helm, and this is the Coffee Break Show. I'm really excited today. I have had the last 24 hours have been wow for me. And so I want to welcome you to the Smart Life Club. We're excited. We have a great topic today. I'm hoping that you will notice that I don't have a banner below floating by what we're saying. But if you're new here, welcome to the Smart Life Club. Put your name down there. I want to know who you are and how you are and what you do and everything else. I am so behind schedule this morning because I'm trying to catch up with everything. And so I rushed on to the show today and I realized, oh, my scroller's not on. So I'll probably fix that in a moment. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you coming on board. This is the Coffee Break Show. We share inspiration. We share insights. We share motivation. We share tips and secrets and everything else. We have a conversation together where we talk about a subject and we have fun. We open up and we share our ideas. Good morning, Karen. Nice to see you on. Really nice to see you on. And we share a lot of things so that we can all have a more productive week. We have a more connected. We have more information and we just keep going. It's just a fun coffee break. Everybody gets their coffee or tea or hot chocolate. And we just sit down and we have a talk today. And so today, what I am noticing is that my banner isn't floating below here. And it's just so crazy for me. I usually always have the banner on, always up. And today was just a day I was thinking to myself, why is it important? Why is it important to have community? Why is it important to have community? Most people try to use community for a way to make money. They're like, okay, let's get a bunch of people here so I can make some sales. Or so I have a sales funnel because I have people on board. And I kept thinking to myself, that is not the reason you should have community. That's not the reason you want to build community. Building community is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Lori, good morning. It's Happy Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Thank you. Love this show, an empowering part of the day. Thank you very much. Hey, Scott, nice to see you. Greetings, my friend. Hi, y'all, said Karen. Nice to see you guys popping on. So when you ask yourself, why is it important to have community? I wrote a bunch of stuff down here and I'm like, okay, here's some notes. Everyone knows that community is sharing and connecting and having conversations with people. But what exactly is the purpose of having community? Is it just to close the sale? Is it just so you make money? Is it just so you have a bunch of people buying your product and adoring you and thinking, oh my God, that person is so fancy? Is it just there to support your ego? Is that the only reason you have community? Because if it is, you are missing the fundamental, basic, most important aspects of having community. And I want to go over a bunch of those. Having a community right now is an action of thrivability. If you run a community well, whether it's a Facebook group or something, a YouTube channel, it creates thrivability, which means everyone benefits. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk about benefits because we're trained in a very, very ugly way about what fairness is in a community and thrivability is in a community. For instance, the real truth is when people actually go out and they buy something on sale, in order for them to feel as if they had a fair deal, a fairness happened, there has to be a winner and a loser. There has to be the person buying has to feel like they got the best part, the biggest chunk of the deal. The biggest chunk goes to them and they think that's fairness. So in other words, it's like, okay, we have a 50% off sale. That's not good enough. 60% off sale, 70% off sale. And if you get to the point where you're thinking, I save 70%, which means I get the most out of it, and that's fair. And so believe it or not, there's a bunch of people who run a group that also think in that way. They're like, oh, the most fairness I can have is if I get the most out of the group. So I'm going to run the group. I'm going to make it so that all I do is have students. I'm going to give them knowledge. They're going to give me money. And that to me is not what a group is about. It's not what community is about. You don't have community and think, oh my God, how can I get the most out of? Where's the lion's share for me? Community has something different. It has the quality of thrivability. And thrivability is when you have made something that isn't an exchange, that isn't, I give you knowledge, you give me money. It's the fair exchange and equitable pieces where thrivability can go up and everybody wins. What does that mean? That means you give some of your best material for free, and people come in and give their best material for free. They spend time putting these great posts in. They spend time working in a kind of voluntary way in a group that has insights and tips and tricks and support. So community also equals support, whether that's for a sport, like if it's volleyball or a medical community or anything. So what came to mind for me is the cancer support systems. So in your hospital group, they hook you up with a cancer support group so you can meet other people. The absolute biggest, I think, the absolute biggest pain on the planet is that people feel alone. They feel like they're going through this alone, whatever that is, whether it's a hardship or a success. They're like, I'm at the top of my game and I don't know who to hang out with so I can get more information and find out where that next level is. Where is that? Where's that top of that game? Excuse me. And so what happens is when we get to the point where we have support, we want to become support as well. We want to know that we are support, and that when the support happens, you get to the point where you're giving support to other people. And how do we give support? Is it just a kind word? Is it, here is one of my best recommendations. Here's one of my best people to contact, and do it ethically and morally. Like, here's one of my best remedies for this. And, or sometimes it's, I'll share this notebook with you. I'll give you all the notes I took at this event and sharing it with people so they don't struggle so much. Support can come in such a plethora of different ways in a group or community that right now it's one of the most important things you can get on the planet. It's also a form of being able to give back. Everybody thinks giving has to do with money. It's like, you give your time, it's more precious than money. The illusion that money is the most important thing in the world is just bah humbug. If you look right now in China where they have that pandemic going on, I bet everybody would give all the money they ever had to make sure that their loved one was safe and healthy. Money is nothing compared to when you're laying your life on the line for someone else. It's like when we get to the point where we understand what community is, we can see that as another way to say, this is how I love humanity. When I'm in a group or I'm in a community, this is how I love humanity. I want to share with them. I want to give back to them. I want to serve them. So whether you're leading a community or whether you're inside the community, what you're doing is serving at your highest level. And serving at your highest level, and I want to talk to all you internet marketers out there who think you're internet gurus. Serving at your highest level isn't making a program for someone and hoping they buy it. That's not serving at the highest level. It's not making a community so that you can have a cash flow coming in. That's not serving, and you're delusional when you think that is. You have to understand the difference between your sales and education communities and the actual community where you don't even try to sell anyone. So I have all these books and all these programs. You don't see me pushing one single book, not one single program. And when somebody puts into the group, here's what I do. This is blah, blah, blah. I take it out. We have certain days that we say, what do you do for a living? But here's what I know. Every time somebody says something like, Okay, I'm looking for something new to do. What should I do? Go, tell me. And there's like 500 people that put down, this is what I do. Join me here. Join me here. I do this, buy this, get this, get this. It doesn't work. There's usually no sales in it. It's just a thing where you get to advertise among 1,000 advertisers, period. 1,000 advertisers. So all of you are putting all your stuff in there. I do this, I do this, I do this. Join me, join me, join me. I do not believe that works. I've never seen it work. I've seen it a cool place to see what people do. I'll tell you why they do it and what happens when you put it in a real community, which is a community that thrives. The leader of the community, the person who's running that community should go and refer. Like, oh, you're in Boston? Well, Jane in Boston sells real estate. Why don't you call her? She's in our group. It becomes a referral. And that way the community actually grows and builds and thrives. And that growing and building and thriving, a lot of people are out there. They're just joining group after group after group. And you can see there are like 365 groups I belong to. You can't answer 365 groups in a day. You can't. You can be part of them, but most of them you don't even go in and look at. You're on the hustle at that point. You're trying to hustle for a sale or hustle for something. And that's not what a group is it? A group is a place where you want to belong, share, grow. And I want to say that groups are communities. And if you're like that on Facebook, you're probably trying to hustle on the side when you go to network meetings. Networking isn't about what can I have? What can I get? What can I get? Give me now. Give me now. Networking is, hi, I'm Vicki, and this is the first thing I want to share with you. Hi, it's open-handed. You want to give it away to the point where people get to know you, like you, trust you. And most people are like, I can't afford to give it away. If you can't afford to give it away, you're in the wrong group. So love this show. Thank you. Good morning. Hi, friend. Love these that love tacos. I do too. Community lifts all boats. That's right. Vicki's number one. If you have a community, it creates thrivability. That's the only thing you want to create with your community. When you create thrivability, everything and everyone lifts all at once. Everything and everyone lifts. So Vicki, number two, community equals support. That's right. Time is far more valuable than money. When somebody shares their time with you, they are giving you the best of them. Even if it's they trust you and they're angry and they're yelling and they're upset, they have trusted you with their feelings. They've trusted you with their upset. You don't get upset at, well, you probably do get upset at strangers if you're, just really sensitive about it. But most people don't get upset at strangers. They get upset with people they love or are close to or were close to. Let's see. Time is far more valuable. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you on. Hello, everyone, and good morning, said Donnie. Donnie, nice to see you on. I'm late, but I made it, said Sean. Sean, nice to see you. We're talking about community today, and we are on number 3. Now, here's the most important thing about community. Community will challenge your perspective. Community challenges your perspective. You can come in with this perspective about what you think or, judgments even, and a community will challenge you to change your point of view, look at your perspectives or beliefs, and it helps shift them. Why? Because if you've ever read a thread on Facebook community, you'll find some really great answers into them. Like if somebody actually asks a really great question and there's like 100 people replying, if you look through the thread, there's going to be some people you have to thread through some of the garbage, but then there are some people who are spot on, who have an enlightened perspective or an expansive perspective, and it wakes you up. It wakes you up in such a way you're like, yes, I didn't see it from that point of view. And for me, what I like, good morning, Joni. Nice to see you on, my friend. Great to see you. The good morning community. Thank you. That's what Joni said. Thank you. So in that, having that viewpoint, it's like if you're open and you listen instead of trying to hustle and grind and get that sale. If you're open and you're listening, you can see that communities right now are going to become a way of life. They're here to stay, whether you're in this one or whatever ones. But the ones that are going to pull you the most are the ones that serve you best. So if you're serving a community best, you're going to get noticed. Why? I want to go back to this. This is one of the most important things that you can know. Unfortunately, in the world, people think that a fair deal, when they have a fair deal, it's that they've gotten the most. I've gotten the most out of the deal. So here's 100% of the deal. In order to close the deal, someone has to feel like they've gotten the biggest part of the deal in order to say yes. And a community where there's actual sharing, where there's people who are willing to serve and serve and serve and serve and just serve, they're the people who get noticed. Like Barb just popped on, so I want to say hi, Barb. How often do I mention Barb? Barb has served our community, just served it. Like Karen has served our community so consistently, so constantly. People know who Karen is. People know who Barb is. People know who Donnie is. And people know who Robert Laws is. If you're in our group right now, if you're in this community, right away, you know who Robert Laws is. He greets everybody every single morning saying, good morning, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, it's Thursday. They do that out of the love of their heart. And so when you start interacting with people in the group, you are also serving. When you start interacting and replying and liking and noting and noticing, because what happens in a group, in a community, people want to be noticed. That's the whole point that they made by smashing the like button. But what you want to do is be able to serve, be open, listen so that your perspective shifts and you understand there is a way to grow in a community that is better than any online program. That is better than if you read some of the stuff in there, you're getting nuggets for free. So the other thing a group gives you is an attitude adjustment. So for instance, sometimes I've had like a stressful day and I pop on to the group or community. And I want to tell you, I know you guys know Lori Nagel, because Lori Nagel is like one of the best community runners ever. And she has a couple of groups, but one of the groups she has is dedicated to our town. And it's called Crestone Laughs. And if you guys haven't been on her community, it is worth it. Just go pop onto it and sign up. It's nothing but humor all the way. There's no cussing allowed. There's no politics allowed. There's no, anything, just funny memes. And you can go down and giggle your way to well-being, just like that. And I know that a lot of people don't understand how that is a service to a community. But when I'm on that community and I notice that that community is what it says and it's fun and it's funny, I can then go recommend that community. This is a good stress-free community. I don't recommend something that I'm not involved in, that I'm not doing, that I'm not using. That community right there has brought all people all over the country, all over the world come to Lori's site just to have a giggle. And then there is kind of a posting thing. People keep in mind for her. When they're scrolling down, I know I do. When I'm scrolling down, I find something that I think is funny and appropriate for her group. Bam, I put it right in there. So when you're looking to stand out, the thing about your attitude and how you adjust things means that you have to actually notice and have an attitude adjustment. But it's so important right now because communities are at the beta stage. They're at the beta stage in our world, but they're like cryptocurrencies. They are not going away. Communities are everything. Barb said, good morning. Hopefully my internet will hold out today. I do too, but I'm so glad you're on with us. Thank you, Barb. Happy Tuesday, Joni said. Thank you. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend. Lori said, "Aw, that's sweet, Vicky. Thank you for those kind words." Yeah, you can pay me later, Lori. Let's see. Karen says, number 4, Vicky, number 4, community creates attitude adjustments. That's right. They're there for a good community is there for your benefit. A good community is there for your benefit and for you to benefit them. It's a reciprocal thing. It's not oh, I get the most, therefore I belong to this community. It's how can I serve the most to this community? There's some brilliant people on this. There's some brilliant people there. On this call, you guys share all the time. You give your best stuff out and you're like, we do this and we do that. And it's so good morning, Kelly. Nice to see you on. It's so that you can get to the point where your community benefits everyone. That's how a community gets famous, when they're sharing. Now, a lot of people think, okay, well, your community has to be well named. It has to be like nurses or doctors. I like people who value intelligence, who value learning and knowledge and sharing. So when I made the Smart Life Club, there are people who enjoy living a smart life. But what I liked about the Smart Life Club is that it didn't say, oh, this is what a smart life is. A smart life has tons of stuff, and it's sharing between people, that kind of knowing, that kind of communicating new ideas and new things. This is how I live a smart life. This is what I think is smart. That smart, all of that intelligence in one place so that you can go and have fun and a sense of humor. Lori says, ha, 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 Crestone Lass has plenty of cussing in some of those memes. They do, but it's funny. My favorite part of the group is that so many people contribute, and some of them really have a super funny sense of humor. Yes. You know, Lori put the link in there to Crestone Laugh. So if you guys want to join that, it is fun. Hey, Dee Dee, nice to see you on. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Hi, Dee Dee. Joni says a good community is like a mirror. You all help us see and realize us, the real us. Yes. I'm going to read that again because it came out kind of sloppy. A good community is like a mirror. You all help us see the real us. That is beautiful. You know what? That's true. That is very true. And sometimes I don't like the real us I see, and it gives me an opportunity to shift it. And then sometimes I see, oh my God, there's a part of me I've never seen. I'm so excited about that. And that is the power of community. But it's not just the Facebook. We're talking about Facebook, but in general, any community, whether it's your working community, your co-workers, whether it's like the one who is service oriented is the person who gets noticed at work. The one who's like, yeah, I'll help you out. Yeah, I'll do this. I'm a team player. They call it being a team player, but it's someone with a service heart, someone who's willing to tell you the truth, someone who's got your back, someone that's not going to just be in the hustle because I want to close a deal. Okay, I'm on here all the time, and I never sell my products and services in the group. I mean, here's a new book and a link to it if you want it, but it's rare. And the other thing that happens when I serve in this way is that I get the servers. There are tons of you that are service oriented and service hearts that come into this group and share all the time. It's that what Joni just said, a good community is like a mirror. You all help us realize the real us. That's a beauty of it. I love that. I was just thinking of you, Karen, said Dee Dee. Joni, that is an incredible definition. Kelly, this is important. Kelly just said one of the most important things about it. It's so simple. It's 2 words. It's sharing and growing. Sharing and growing in a group. And you know, I have to tell you, there's so much talented in here, but I have to pick on Kelly right now because I put a thing out there the other day on the Facebook page. And I was like, tell us something we don't know about you, something that not many people know about you. And Kelly popped in. She teaches people she teaches them how to be safe on motorcycles and become licensed motorcycle drivers, but safe drivers. And she's been doing this year. And if you've seen Kelly, she's this little tiny thing, this just itty bitty cute little woman, but she can get on a Harley and like this. And she teaches people to do that. So when I put that thing, tell us something we don't know about you. Now, if somebody says, I'd like to take a motorcycle riding course, who's going to come to mind? That's the point of the group. The sharing of what you know, the exposing yourself. I want to share what Donnie has to say too. Donnie says, serving your community creates trust. And during these times, we should also look at local communities, as in your neighborhoods. Yes, I was going to talk about that. Your coworkers, they will all be a fundamental aspect to thriving. That's correct. Without earned trust of a community, many will be lost. Do you know your community? Do you know your neighbors? If not, you should get to know them. Donnie, that is so correct. It's not just Facebook online neighbors, but who's your neighbor to the left or right of you? In my place, there's nobody because, well, I live really rurally. So to the left or right of me, the deer are my neighbors and the elk and the antelope play. But at this point, that is so important right now to know your neighbors. Your church is a community. Your local a group that is like the Elks Club or any of those clubs. Those are all your local communities. Serving communities, you have to have boundaries around as well. Because sometimes you may be the only person serving the community and they'll just work you till you drop. You want to make sure that the community you serve is serving you. Deer are good. Yes, they are. They're delicious. Anyway, the serving the community that serves you, that's so important, whatever your group is. Now, your friendships, your local friendships, that's another community right there. Your friends are everywhere. How are they? You have to understand the difference between being a friend because they are a friend and being a friend because they need a friend. Sometimes people need friends and they never give back. It's not reciprocal. You want mutually beneficial communities, mutually beneficial relationships. If you get to the point where somebody has to have the bigger portion of the deal, then you do not have a mutually beneficial group or relationship. If you're always 90% of the work and everybody else is, all the benefits of that 90%, you're in the wrong group. You want to be serving a community that is serving you, that is service minded. Everyone is. Know who you can trust. Yes, Edie, thank you. Dee Dee says, know who you can trust. Yes, that's very important because some people are in a community and they are not trustworthy. They aren't deserving of that. You have to have discernment and know who you can trust. I agree with that. Karen says, tastes like chicken. Thank you. Barb says, Donald, you have it down. I've been building online communities since the 80s. And the bottom line is there must be a link to real life connections for them to sustain and thrive. Love the way you think. I do too. I love Donnie. I love the way he thinks. Thank you, Barb, he said. So here's today. Today is how can you serve your community? And I want to let you know that now we have added a new type of community. We have our local community, which we could say is our brick and mortar community. And we have our online community. And here's the thing. Stop trying to stop trying to join a bunch of communities so that you can hustle and grind for your business. Everybody knows that you're a hustler and grinder then. Pick the communities that you want to serve, that you are part of, that you want to lead, that you think are of value to you and the world, and support them with your efforts. Support them, put up a good meme. Barb has been doing this since 1980s, and I can tell you her criteria as to what constitutes her sharing her knowledge or information or support. She's got a lot of discernment right in this area, and she'll go, okay, this is somebody I want to help thrive. This is somebody I want to help grow. But how many groups do you have, Barb, that you lead right now, other than being part of this team here? How many do you have? I know there's the balloon group and some private groups, and she's very selective about the groups because she is in that service mentality. But Barb is very good at serving and helping the people who are serving and helping. Serve and help the people who serve and help. Serve and help the people who serve and help. Then you will have very much a thriving business, a thriving life, and a thriving community. Joni says, yes, so agree. Friendship is so important. Be a good, humble giver and a grateful receiver. Ooh, I love that. I think that should be today's cup. Be a good, humble giver and a grateful receiver. Joni, that is just a blessing right there. Yes, so agree. Friendship is so important. Be a good, humble giver and a grateful receiver. God, I love that. Thank you. Karen, can we use that today? I love that one. Be a good, humble giver and a grateful receiver. So communities are like cryptocurrencies. They're here to stay. They're growing. They're powerful. They come with, thousands and thousands and thousands. I have a tiny itty bitty group right now, tiny itty bitty group compared to some of them. Some of them are in the hundreds of thousands. I need a sip of coffee here. So, in your life, if you feel compelled to start a community, I would suggest you do. And I would suggest that you step out in faith and do it, because serving in this way has made me have so much personal development, so much growth, and so much gratitude. Tomorrow, I have a really outstanding guest on. You guys, don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be on fire. It is going to be fire. I want to tell you about Felicia Slattery, but I'm going to tell you tomorrow, she is one of the most impactful women I know. You are going to really like what she has to say. And she is going to be serving this community tomorrow. And the show's probably going to go over a little bit because she's going to be serving this community in a way. And support for her while she's doing it would be awesome. But you do not want to miss more. Say more about Wednesday's guest. Yeah, you can go into the Smart Life Club and there's a little thing over there. Tomorrow, Felicia Slattery is going to rock your world. So I want to tell you that thank you for being in my community. I am humbled by your efforts that everybody has supported here. And I will continue to be as uplifting as I can and thrivable as I can and bring the best guests on. Because right now, we are going to add the Wednesday guest onto our show. I love Felicia, says Barb. We've been friends on Facebook since 2010, but have been connected much longer. She rocks. She really does. She is solid, fun. She's funny too. I mean, it's just going to be a great time. So tomorrow I will see you for the great Felicia Slattery show as we begin adding our Wednesday guests to our club so that we can help serve you in a higher, better way. Thank you for living a smart life. Thank you for being a smart life. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah! Talk to you guys later. Bye.